Oh, hey guys, I'm the teacher Diana. I hope you're doing great. This is an introduction to our next topic, which is Greek mythology, one of my favorite ones, and I hope you like it too. Well, Greek mythology, all these stories that we're going to call myths are going to go around this topic, okay? But what is myth? Well, basically, it's a story that is told mouth to mouth, okay? But what are the functions of the myths and who come up with all this? This is what we're going to answer in this video. First of all, well, myths, we could say that they have two main functions. First one, to answer some sort of awkward questions that children ask. If you have a baby brother or a baby sister, you might say, yes, they do have awkward questions. They're always asking why, when, how, who, okay? So these stories were made to explain that in an easier way for children, but even for adults. It's for all type of people. Then second, a myth was, or they were used to justify an existing social system or traditions or customs. Okay, why is it that that person can afford that and I can't? Or why do we have to wear this right now? Or why are we eating this other thing during this time? Okay, so myths also were created to explain this. There are many other characteristics related to myths, but the most important ones, let's say, are that these are traditional stories of gods and kings and heroes, okay, and also monsters, and also there are many other type of characters that we are going to find in these stories. They're going to show a relation between gods and people. We have never thought about, being in touch with a god that in a close way. I mean, we speak to our God in a different way, but to be like face to face to a god speaking to him or to her. Okay, this is something that is going to happen here in this type of myths. Also, it says that mythology was a form of early science to Greeks because it explained the unexplainable. So imagine that at that time a volcano exploded. They just didn't know how to explain that. So they were like, okay, they just to come up with this great story and explain it in that way. Or a storm, for example, or an earthquake. They just didn't know how to answer that, how to answer such a situation like that one. So they were used to create these stories to explain it. So the myths seek to explain the unexplainable and the unknowable. They are going to answer questions such as these ones. Where do we go after we die? How was the world created? Why can we see our reflection in water? Why are there 4 seasons separate from the other ones? Why do we fall in love? Etc. A little bit of the background information of the myths. Well, we can consider it as the most important authors of myths to Homer and Hesiod. Homer might be, I think he is more popular, right? Because he's known by poems such as the Odyssey or the Iliad, for example, and he was one of the authors of many other myths, and the same happened with Hesiod. Beliefs of the Greeks, well, they thought that death was, the end, we should get there, okay, but we were going to do it in a very heroic form. It's not that you were going to die in your bed and that's it. No, okay, something else was going to happen in order for you to die. So they used to explain all that. They used to think that Greeks were tough, restless, ambitious, hard-living, imaginative. I agree, they were very imaginative, I'll say. Honor was extremely important. They were going to be fighting for that all the time. That gods mirrored human feelings in physical form, that they were going to be like us, like human beings, like someone simple. You'll see that. And they had a bunch of flaws, okay, such as pride, cruelty, stubbornness. They were very impulsive, and because of all this, they were going to come up with, different situations, difficult situations, and trouble. And unfortunately, humans were the ones who were going to suffer the consequences of this behavior. The creation myth, it's one of the basics, one of the stories that we must know how the world, started, where did everything started. Okay, and we're gonna start from chaos. Chaos means nothingness. Okay, and from chaos, Gaia, the earth, and also Uranus, the sky, and many others are going to come up. We're gonna be reading about it. Okay, so that we can understand where do supposedly come from, and titans and gods and goddesses. In general, the gods, or the Greek gods, were divided in 3 categories: heaven, earth, and the sea. And that's the way that they are going to be separated. I recommend you to watch The Clash of the Gods. Actually, it's going to be a task that you will have, okay, in order to understand way more better how everything started. And it is such a great documentary. Also, did you know that many of the products, or the name of the products that we have nowadays, come from Greek mythology? For example, Nike, Amazon.com, and also the famous Cyclops from X-Men. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This was just an introduction of many things that we're going to be reviewing, and I hope you enjoy it. Have a beautiful day.